still need to fall in place, I would say, on the regulatory front. And look, we've demonstrated with Ripple that you can use blockchain technology today in a way that's compatible with compliance frameworks, and we're doing that, as said before, in the billions of dollars every year in terms of doing payments way at a fraction of the cost and the time than in legacy systems. So it's possible, right? I think if we want to enlarge and see more, like there's over $1 quadrillion of financial assets off-chain, and if you want to see, I don't know, 10% of that coming on-chain, we have like maybe 150 billion in terms of stablecoins so far. Regulation, I would say, is a key piece in terms of surveys we're doing for more of TradFi to come on-chain, but that's now starting to really fall more in place. Think of MiCA in Europe or Singapore or UAE, where you see frameworks really emerging. And so I do expect that we're really at the start of a paradigm shift whereby blockchain technology is really going beyond much of the hype and really into utility and powering financial activity much more going forward.
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. In today's video, we're going to be jumping down the rabbit hole, going over a fundamental piece that came out last month, talking about real-world asset tokenization developments on the XRPL, playing some video clips that never reached the mainstream from some industry-leading experts. So make sure that you stick around for the entirety of this video breakdown. Do me a favor, if you enjoy, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the platform. It does help boost the YouTube algorithm, allow this platform to grow and push these videos out to more like-minded individuals like yourselves. Really do appreciate it. So with that being said, let's jump into this report. This is from back on August 14th, 2024. Ripple and Archax, a new era for the XRP Ledger with real-world asset tokenization. Last month, Ripple and Archax announced a groundbreaking extension to their collaboration set to bring hundreds of millions of dollars worth of tokenized real-world assets to the XRP Ledger. And if you remember, in a previous video breakdown, I played a video clip of the Archax CEO giving his perspective on how much money he thinks is going to come on-chain over the next consecutive couple of years. Take a second and listen.
Certainly when you bring derivatives into it, which is the largest market that there is. What kind of size, and I always like to throw these fun questions out there, do you think we're going to see moving on chain? What kind of size in terms of maybe a dollar value?
The timelines that, so yeah, if you put your timeline right out, it's definitely quadrillion. Like every asset class in the world's over a quadrillion, but everyone's mostly looking at the traditional markets when they consider that. But the metaverse, for want of a better phrase, is introducing a whole lot of new financial products as well. So whether it be, NFTs, borrowing against NFTs, metaverse mortgages, the future financial market is much bigger. It's a combination of the two universes, if you like. So the number that will end up on chain will dwarf the financials market today, but the period of transition is going to take some time. We're living and breathing this at the moment, where we might have a good idea that, okay, collateral is going to move on chain. That's great. But you've got to go out there and get some of the biggest banks in the world, clearinghouses, CSDs, customers to all move towards using those types of transactions. And that's going to take a long time. But I reckon over the next, 1 to 3 years, we should see a good couple of trillion on there at least. And then 5 to 10 years, I think a tokenized issuance will be the norm.
Now, this collaboration is not just a milestone for Ripple and Archax, but a monumental development for builders, developers, and users within the XRPL community. The enhanced collaboration between Ripple and Archax unlocks a plethora of opportunities for developers and builders on the XRPL, with financial institutions now able to tokenize their real-world assets on the XRPL. The stage is set for a wave of innovation, applications, and services. This includes things like the creation of new financial instruments, enhanced DeFi, and the best of both worlds, where real-world assets have relatively stable valuations and immense volume, yet lack many strong characteristics inherent in blockchain technology. More liquidity and diversified assets upon opening up new avenues for DeFi solutions, especially at an institutional level. So there are some massive developments happening on the XRPL through these collaborations. Now, I want to play a video clip for you guys of an individual representative telling you all that in the near future, everything, literally down to, you can even, if you can imagine it, it's going to be tokenized in the near future. So let's just take a second And let's listen to, again, some of these interesting leading experts. And what I want you all to pay attention to is that the vast amount of these videos that I'm going to play for you all barely have any views. This one in particular, tokenization at an inflection point, the role of tokenization, in a Bitcoin circular economy, was from 3 months ago uploaded and only has 143 views. So take a second and listen to what he says here.
Dan, we've previously discussed tokenization of culture. Can you say a little bit about that idea and some of the benefits that tokenization can bring?
Yeah, I mean, and I could pick up on what Peter was just talking about. So why haven't tokenized funds really taken off yet? KKR has tokenized a healthcare fund. They're one of a number. Because it's not sexy. And because the crowd that has been most attracted to digital assets normally is under 39. And what that crowd, which panelist earlier today was talking about, he or she who is a Gen Zer, Gen Xer, will become the bulk of the inheritors and the wealth creators. So it's just a matter of time. They are digital natives, and they're passionate about culture. That's what they focus on, and that's why we are focused on where the demand is currently and how we think that's going to influence their decision-making in terms of investing in the future. You don't hear those generations excited about investing in commodities, but they are investing in collectibles. They are investing in experiences. And so the takeaway for those who are assembled here is everything in civilization is going to get tokenized. It's not going to happen this year. Probably not next, but over the next 2 decades, everything you can think of, ticketing, vehicle titles and registration, real property, this building will be an NFT, right? Because it's one of a kind. Every piece of real estate is going to be tokenized, and it's going to happen because there are benefits around taking that which is historically illiquid and making it more liquid.
Okay, so I just want to pause it there. That in connection with what the Archax CEO said about bringing trillions upon trillions of dollars on chain over the next consecutive couple of years. Have a zoomed out perspective. Understand that this is going to take some time, but the people that understand the amount of money that is about to come onto these native blockchains, it's unprecedented. And I don't think people really comprehend right now in the moment, because of the lack of price action and price appreciation, how massive this is all going to be looking back 5 years from now. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that it's going to take 5 years. I hope and pray to God that it doesn't, because just like you watching, I would love to experience another bull market cycle. But if it did, you have to understand that the foundation is being laid, regulatory clarity is coming, and I mean, these digital assets are pennies on the dollar right now, especially ones like XRP or HBAR or XDC, right? Native digital assets that are heavily embedded and working on building out the infrastructure for real world asset tokenization in the now. And there's many others out there. I'm just naming a couple off the top of my head. Again, to each his own, do your own personal research. But trillions upon trillions of dollars are going to flood into the digital asset ecosystem over the next consecutive couple of years, and that is undeniable. Anybody with a brain, anybody that has the ability to do a little tiny bit of research will see that that is to be the case. Now, we're going to continue down the rabbit hole with this, because one of the key features of the XRPL for tokenization, and we're going to pay attention to this key phrase right here, battle tested. The XRP Ledger is battle-tested, enabling tokenization and movement of value for over a decade. With over 2.8 billion transactions processed representing over $1 trillion in value moved and over 5 million active XRP wallet holders supported by a network of over 100 validators, the XRPL remains as proven as ever before. Its ability to handle transactions swiftly and at a low cost makes it an attractive option for institutions. Keep that in mind, because I'm going to play a video clip from a representative on stage at the same exact AIM summit, where he goes on to say that what's going to work in the future for financial institutions is a blockchain. It's a system that has been battle tested. He uses that same exact vocabulary. So let's take a second and let's listen to what this individual representative has to say. We're going to go to roughly about 12 minutes and 57 seconds, keeping in mind what that fundamental piece about Ripple and RChex mentioned, how the XRPL is battle tested. Okay, this particular video only has 205 views and was uploaded about 3 months ago. So yet again, another panel discussion that not a lot of people are paying attention to. Take a second and listen.
I think there's quite a few converging theses around what's relevant in this space, and I think where we are in the cycle today is still very much focused on proving what can be done in an on-chain environment. And the reason why that's important is because before we can have large-scale organizations that are regulated and have the trust of global governance structures that we have in the financial industry today, you first need a technology that's scalable and protocols that work and are battle tested, right? And you first need a technology that's scalable and protocols that work and are battle tested, right? And
he just said you need to have protocols that are scalable and battle tested, keeping in mind what the report says about the RChex and Ripple collaboration, right? We can go back to that real fast. And it mentions the XRP Ledger is battle tested. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. I love putting vocabulary, attention to details, and really fine-tuning why I'm investing in this space, paying attention to, again, perspectives from industry-leading experts that are never going to reach the mainstream. Last but not least, it talks about a collaborative vision for the future. Always having that long-term perspective, Ripple and RChex share a compliance-first approach, working proactively with regulators and policymakers to integrate crypto and blockchain technology into global financial systems. This collaboration underscores the XRPL's credentials as a leading blockchain for real-world asset tokenization, making it a compelling choice for financial institutions looking to embrace the benefits of decentralized finance, or DeFi. Now, we're going to head back to this last video clip, and I want you to listen to this industry leading expert mention that this is going to take some time. And then we're going to listen to a perspective from a Ripple representative, Michael Infinger, mention the same exact thing, which just, again, makes it gets the vocabulary coexisting. I want you guys to see that these people, these speakers, they're all collaborating. They're all talking behind the scenes with these closed door meetings about the same exact thing, and they all have the same perspectives. Why have all the people that are in control of building out this infrastructure and laying the foundation telling you guys that this is going to take some time, would we here as retail investors expect this to happen overnight? So again, zoom out, have a long-term perspective, and understand that this is going to take time. People don't want to hear this stuff because people are so married and fixated on instant gratification, when in reality, if you want money in the now, there are ways in crypto in the now to make money through trading, through investing in DeFi, through earning yield, and so on and so forth. You just have to learn those strategic approaches, okay? So let's just listen to what this representative, we're going to go to 15 minutes and 30 seconds, and let's play it right here.
Like counterparties involved in storing assets on there rather than the protocol itself. It's a fundamental paradigm shift. And that's the journey that we're on now. So, frankly speaking, never been more bullish on where we are in the cycle here. These things always take longer than people expect. And then suddenly in hindsight, all of these things are there. And I think very few people would have realized that we have, decentralized finance applications and protocols storing such large sums of assets, right? Which I think is already a testament to where the industry is factually today.
And I'm actually going to throw in there one more video clip. Do you remember another Ripple representative, Thomas Cohen, mentioning that in the future, banks and financial institutions will look back and say, oh, everything's on chain. So let's listen to Michael Infinger and Thomas Cohen. Michael Infinger, a current Ripple representative, tell you all that this is going to take some time compared to what this gentleman just said on stage. He's never been more bullish. So let's take a second and listen to these two, one ex-Ripple representative and one current Ripple representative, say the same exact thing.
I would say, the recognition is no longer niche. The liquidity is still niche. And, there's a couple of outlined reasons for that: regulatory, compatibility, user protection in general, usability. Some of these, like DeFi protocol, they're quite clunky. And some of these blockchain networks are also fragmented, right? Like there's a lot of interoperability being built, and I believe there will be more interoperability possible through the open sourceness, programmability of these protocols, as opposed to TradFi. And so that's definitely we're at the very early innings, so to speak. So I would say like we're seeing growth. If you look at the stablecoin as a financial instrument, for example, 3 years ago the total market cap was around 5 billion. Now it's like 150 billion. And people tend to overestimate these kind of dynamics, maybe in the short term, but then underestimate it in the long term, which is an insight for somebody.
What can we do as an industry today to make sure that that vision is really brought forward into the 2020s instead of into the 2030s and beyond? And to me, these aren't rocket science. But I think a lot of the time, especially when we're talking with large traditional financial institutions, people talk about how this technology is truly revolutionary and can transform the way that we store and move and access value. And while that's true, what's important is to have the conversation be about how it's evolutionary, how we can help these large institutions make small steps every year over time so that a decade from now, they can look back and say, oh, wow, suddenly half of the financial transactions that we engage in are actually on chain, and they wouldn't even realize.
So hopefully you all enjoyed this video breakdown, keeping it real with you guys, keeping you all in the loop with some perspectives from some of the largest organizations and representatives in this ecosystem. Do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. I understand that my content isn't bullish moonboy hopium telling you guys that next week XRP is going to hit $1,000, but hopefully that is why you all have enjoyed the CYPRX platform, because we don't tout these bullish moonboy hopium targets and we keep it real with you guys, keeping you all in the loop with updated information that has never reached the mainstream masses, as you all can see from the lack of views in the video clips that we share on this YouTube page. With all of that in mind, none of this is financial advice. Do me a favor before you head off, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video breakdown.